This is Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark, distraught over the death of his father, the former king. This is Guildenstern, and this is Rosencrantz. They are friends of Hamlet, sent by the king and queen to cheer him up. Although they are friendly towards Hamlet on the outside, they are hiding their true intentions, which is to spy on Hamlet. Hamlet's crown from Burger King symbolizes his position as royalty. His black clothing represents his somber and mellow mood. He is holding his head in his hands to represent his frustration with the world. Guildenstern and Rosencrantz are dressed in baggy clothing that would be worn by common people. They're holding daggers behind their back, symbolizing their deceit and how they are hiding their true intentions. My most dear lord, my words carry an element of irony, suggesting loyalty and affection, despite our true intention to spy on Hamlet and report back to Claudius.
My excellent good friends, how dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do ye both? The initial response I have towards Guildenstern and Rosencrantz is friendly and cordial. This is because I'm unaware of your true intentions. My line here sets up the eventual betrayal that I experienced when I realized that these two are actually spying on me. Then is doomsday near, but your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither? My use of the word doomsday is suggestive of my depression and pessimistic nature due to my father's horrible death. I call Rosencrantz and Guildenstern my good friends to show that I do not yet know that they are spies. I point out that Denmark is a prison to further highlight Denmark's pervasive atmosphere of surveillance, especially with characters like Claudius spying on him. I cannot trust those around me, and this lack of freedom and privacy further contributes to my perception of Denmark as a prison. Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space were it not that I have bad dreams. I am saying that I have a great amount of ambition. I claim that the cause of my troubles isn't my ambition, but my bad dreams. I am suggesting a physical confinement or limitation. However, I provide a juxtaposition by stating that I feel like a king of infinite space, despite and within this limitation.
Which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream. The bad dreams Hamlet has are a direct consequence of his vast ambitions.
Truly I hold ambition of so airy and light a quality that is but a shadow's shadow. I am both praising Hamlet for having high ambitions as well as placing him on a pedestal above myself. This is to establish the power dynamic in Hamlet's mind that I am not to be taken too seriously and I am simply just a friend. This is also an example of my superficial and cunning nature.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended. But, in the beaten way of friendship, what makes you at Elsinore? I think of Guildenstern and Rosencrantz as friends instead of servants. As I say that I will not sort you with the rest of my servants. By doing this, I ease them into a sense of comfortable malady.
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion. I tell a complete lie to Hamlet, trying to keep up my facade of visiting for the sole purpose of friendship. And even though Hamlet is royalty, I have an obligation to Claudius and Gertrude.
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there's a kind of confession in your looks, which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen has sent for you. I suspect Guildenstern and Rosencrantz are not revealing their true motives, so I attempt to pry it out of them. My keen observations in the confession in your looks show how I am able to discern the true reason behind my friend's visit, despite their attempts to hide it.
My lord, we are sent for! I realize our facade cannot be kept, and I must finally reveal the truth. I do this in an attempt to minimize the damage caused by being caught in a lie. My ambition, although subtle, is as pivotal as it shifts the dynamics of my interactions with Hamlet.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but where I know not, lost all my mirth, foregone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition in this goodly frame. The earth seems to me a sterile harmonimity. For this most excellent canopy, the air looks you this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire. Why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty! in form of moving, how express and admirable, in action how like an angel, in apprehension how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delivers not me, nor woman neither, though by your smiling ye seem to say so. Through this monologue, I show my existential crisis and disillusionment with the world and humanity. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern don't know about King Hamlet's horrible death, but I do. I feel profound disconnection, referring to humanity as the quintessence of dust. This shows that I'm on a different intellectual and emotional wavelength than everyone else.
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We courted them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service. In an attempt to respond to Hamlet politely, I say in a light-hearted manner that the drama company coming to see him won't entertain him if he maintains his current nature, and rather than facing the root of Hamlet's problems, I try to divert the topic and advance the plot to talk about the actors and the troupe coming to visit. I think their inhibition comes by the means of this delayed innovation. I acknowledge that things have changed now for the actors. This furthers the theme of change and transformation present within this play, just like how the power shifts from King Hamlet to Claudius. Nay, their endeavors keeps in this wonted pace, but there is, sir, an array of children, little Iases, that cry out on top of the question and are most tyrannically clapped for it. These are now the fashion, and so berattle the common stages, so they call them, that many wearing rapiers are afraid of goose quills and dare scarce come thither. The troupe and the fact that the children are now dominating the theater industry show the current state of the world, and the fact that the children are yelling out their lines and receiving outrageous applause for it symbolizes the nature of Claudius's role, comparing Claudius to a child who just yells at his lines. And even though Claudius seems to be excellent and as busy as ever, he really is simply just a child.
It is not very strange, for mine uncle is king of Denmark, and those that would make mouths at him while my father lived give 20, 40, 50, 100 ducats apiece for his picture in little. Splut, there's something in this more than natural if philosophy could find it out. Flourish of trumpets within. There's change in the people's attitude towards my uncle, King Claudius. People once mocked Claudius, and now are willing to pay substantial amounts of money for his portrait, indicating a shift in loyalty and flattery towards him. Everyone's allegiances and respect are easily swayed by power and position. Gentlemen, you are welcome in Elsinore. Your hands come then, the appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my extent to the players, which I tell you must show fairly outward, should more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome, but my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived. My welcoming nature involves a level of superficiality or pretense. This reflects how I am disillusioned with the court, where appearances and ceremonies mask true intentions and feelings. I am polite and welcoming on the surface, but I am also cautious of the corrupt nature of the court with Claudius in power. I am but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. I suggest that my madness is not constant but dependent on circumstance, akin to the changing direction of the wind. On the other hand, when the situation is southerly, I am perfectly sane. I can distinguish a hawk from a handsaw. This distinction between the two objects, one natural and the other man-made, shows how I can differentiate between the truth and deception.
Although introduced as simply Hamlet's childhood friends, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz are served as unwitting pawns within the larger picture of the political court of the time. Enlisted by the king and queen to decipher Hamlet's melancholic behavior, the probing questions and subtle attempts to extract the truth from Hamlet increase the level of tension within the narrative. Their dual allegiance to Hamlet's friendship as well as political loyalty to king and queen is emblematic of Hamlet's deepening internal conflict, as well as the broader political issues going on within the court. Yet as the two attempt to portray their own friend for information for Claudius, Hamlet realizes the level of manipulation around him. This is the basis for Hamlet's conflicts with the others, catalyzing their rising action to play where the broader implications of the polarized politics unfold. In summary, Act 2, Scene 2, lines 214 to 350 illuminates the aspects of Hamlet's character in the corrupt environment of the Danish court. The lines collectively contribute to the rising action by intensifying the atmosphere of intrigue, betrayal, and existential angst. This escalation of tension and complexity is crucial in driving the narrative towards its tragic climax.